bags of ice.
So we have a lot of here for the community. That's good. Were y'all able to accommodate that? Those resources, just what y'all have, or y'all have to bring in additional resources?
We never bring in anything. Nothing at all. And we have our ice machine that's back there pumping ice 24/7. And a lot of folks didn't have water or power. So they were able to get ice. And we lost power for one day. I'll let you guys in on a little secret. Don't tell nobody, all right?
Come on down. They can drop an announcement. Let's do it. Drop an announcement.
We got some opus coming in.
Say that again.
We got some opus. We got some opus X coming in.
Opus X. Okay.
Opus X coming in. Y'all don't tell nobody. Just between us friends, all right?
Okay. Keep that amongst us.
Besides this open sex we got back home, how has been the vibe here? It's been the last we built a relationship, and we've noticed that some things are moving forward in a pretty positive direction. You guys have any other new things that about to take off?
So that's a great question. We just did our Chamber of Commerce, City of Conroe, Chamber of Commerce River Cutting ceremony just this past week. And we're now official members of the Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce. They came out, and so now they saw what a huge part of the community that we want, that we are. So you can see, and they even recognize what a growing part of this community that we're becoming. You've talked about how
it's definitely turning in the right. We're taking a turn in the right direction. We are, as you can see, our lounge is a little bit more full, and that's all because of the collaborations that we've made with you guys, as well as with the city of Conroe in this area as well.
That's good. So we talked about doing some more collaboration and some things coming up. One of those things we talked about was the paint, sip, and smoke, and the ladies' night.
Those are things that are definitely on the coming up very soon. Coming up very, very soon. We have a few things. We need to get our ladies' night going, and we need to get that going where it's going to be a regular thing to where the ladies can come up, have one night a week that they can come up and just take over the place and feel comfortable.
So one of the things we're so excited about is that now we have opportunity to really introduce some of the people, some of the brands that you guys are working with. And we actually have a brand that we want to talk to, we're going to introduce tonight. And we're kind of really excited about, we had a presentation earlier, and we learned a few things and learned a little bit about the brand, but got a little educated, on some things that we didn't know. So we're kind of excited about hearing from this brother. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
So we've got Terrence, one of the VPs from Aganorsa Leaf, with us tonight, and that's another thing that we are looking forward to doing more with you guys. Is whenever we have our events and our reps coming in, or our representatives from the different brands coming in, we want to make sure that that's on a night that you guys are going to be here as well. So now we have Terrence from Aganorsa Leaf, and he's going to come and talk to you guys and tell you guys a little bit more about this fantastic brand that we're all smoking tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Tony. We appreciate it.
Appreciate that, man. Coming to you. Yeah, we're good. Okay. And you're gonna hold that one. That's for that one. That's for the
Thank you, brother.
feed.
Pleasure.
That's Terrence.
Terrence.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
What is this we're smoking?
So that's Aganorsa Leaf, Connecticut, Anniversario, Connecticut. This cigar was actually number 3 cigar of the year at Cigar Stop this past year.
Wow.
It's not your grandfather's Connecticut. It's got more body to it, but it's still smooth.
if somebody wants a Connecticut, they want something that's smooth.
Yeah.
The old kind of classic Connecticut didn't have a lot of, there was not much there, you know, it was kind of like smoking paper almost. So we wanted to give it more body, more character, but still keep that smooth, creamy flavor to it.
What I like about a good cigar is a good even burn.
Yeah.
And so far, that's disappointing.
So far, so good. Let's knock on wood.
You still got a long way to go.
It's an finish.
Is there anything you want to tell people about your brand that they don't know?
Yeah, so with Bag & Horse, what I always try to emphasize is a couple things. One is that we're big on the leaf. Our leaf is our strength. Yeah, we got to do a flex here. You know?
So let's do it again.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, we should use your arm. We should use your arm. They use my arm. And so it's all about the tobacco. You know, brands. There's different types of brands. Some focus more on cult of personality. Some focus more on lifestyle. We're about the leaf. You know, and so we really have a signature flavor and aroma. That's why we do those human tastings that we did before to really give people a sense of the character of Bag & Horse. So that's really what makes Bag & Horse special. That signature flavor and aroma. And the other thing is, what's great about cigars and what we try to do at Bag & Horse is incorporate people in. You guys are part of it. Whether it's our retail partners, consumers, we want people to feel part of what we do and because they're important. You guys dictate what's good. Our retail partners, they've got to recommend it. You guys got to smoke it and enjoy it.
That's true.
And tell other people about it. The only metric of our success is passion for the product. That's it.
Passion for the
That's the only thing.
I love that.
Yeah, we can't do it.
I love that.
And it's your passion. It's not mine, right? And
Yeah.
I can be as passionate as possible. Somebody comes in and goes, "Should I try that Bag & Horse?" And you go, "That's all right."
Right.
Dead. It's a dead grab, right?
Yeah.
But if you guys are like, "Man, you got to try that. It's a great cigar." Again, being honest, you know, the right cigar for the right person. You know, you don't want to, you know. But that's really what we can. So that's why we really promote like our group, Bag & Horse Acolytes on Facebook. You know, guys in there, they reach out to us when they're in Miami. They come by our office, have a Cuban coffee and a cigar. It's really, that's what's great about cigars. Is bring people in. People can't agree the sky is blue anymore.
Right.
But you get cigars involved and everybody's on the same page.
Come on.
You know, we have a growing cigar community, right? So, tell us about a product that you just introduced a new person that's just getting integrated to the cigar culture. What would you recommend for them?
I'd recommend the cigar you're smoking, to be honest with you. I think that's a great expression. It's smooth. It's not going to overwhelm them. It's not going to put them in a position where they go. A lot of times what happens is, it's like the first time you had
Start out too strong, too
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, cigars aren't for me.
Right.
I don't like cigars, right?
Yeah.
This is a great cigar, everyone tells me, but I didn't like it, you know? So I must not like cigars. So it's so crucial to get them something that they can really enjoy their first time without overwhelming them, right? And so that's a great example of something that you can smoke as a relatively new consumer and not be overwhelmed.
This is definitely a great smoke from someone that actually smoked cigars throughout the whole line of blends and strengths. This is a great, since it's Connecticut, it's a great smoke.
Yeah.
I love this cigar.
Thank you.
So I've been a Maduro man for years, right? But the past few months, I kind of went into the Connecticut, ram of things, and this is a turn up, man. This is a Connecticut 2.0.
So it's the next level.
It's the next level of Connecticut. I like this.
It's not your grandfather's Connecticut.
It's not, and I like that. And you had mentioned earlier that you blend those two fillers together, and I can taste both of them in it.
Yeah, so isn't that great? So it's almost like a whole new experience. Is that you taste that a little bit of sweetness, you taste that salt, you taste that salivation inside your mouth.
It's still hitting the
tongue.
frontal.
Yeah.
Man, great
so
experience.
You bring up such a great point. Is that stay open-minded with the cigars. You know, I hear so often, I only like this, or I don't like Dominican cigars, or whatever it is. It's like keep an open mind. Maybe you had a Dominican cigar you didn't like, but you love another one. Maybe you had a Maduro you don't like, but you love another one. Just keep an open mind. Try different stuff. You marry a woman, not a cigar. You know, that's
Yeah. About to get us all in trouble.
Yeah.
Still a nice even burn.
Hey, man, me too.
Yeah, still a nice even burn. And I always equate one of the very first indicators of a good cigar is a good burn.
Yeah.
Right, that's just one of my first indicators, right?
Yeah, so there's taste, which is subjective, right? Some people like something, some people don't. But construction is objective. It burns well, it draws well, or it doesn't. So that's something that there's no argument about.
Right. It's 3 of us here.
That's true.
We all like a different type of blend. If
Right.
you will.
Sure.
Correct.
But you can't really get away from the fact that it's well constructed.
Yeah,
It burns
if it
well.
doesn't dry, it doesn't matter how good it is.
Right.
And we all have it cut differently too. I have mine punched.
Oh wow, yeah. So punch,
like the small.
the V's.
Yeah, and I got the V.
Yes, yes,
I actually
a
found
double V.
Yeah,
double V.
Yeah, the bullseye.
Bullseye. There we
I'll
go.
take the cheapest because I just love this. I love the small V.
Yeah,
I love the small V.
I like a V, generally speaking.
Right.
I mean, too. Yeah, man, punches too. That's what I had on me right now. Oh, I forgot. I got my other word. Okay.
See there, it's right in front of you. Look at
There
that.
we go.
Cutter.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
beautiful color.
Let me- Now, should I cut this?
Second cigar.
It's up to you.
Second cigar, number 2. Okay,
So here's the
okay.
next question, Terrence.
Yes, sir.
Pricing of your cigars.
So
What could a person expect to come in and purchase your brand?
So we're all about value at every price point, right?
Okay.
So we're vertically integrated. So we control the process from seed to ash. We have our own farms, we have our own factory, we distribute. So we're able to kind of cut out the middleman in those processes and provide a best value. So for instance, the Aniversario, that's a cigar that's from somewhere between $12 to $17. But
Okay.
people that smoke a $20+ cigar, when they come to that cigar, they go, "This isn't over 20." Then we have our JFR brand. Our JFR brand is meant to be a $20 cigar that's under 10 or 10 or less.
Yeah, I love that cigar.
In that simple packaging, we keep the box simple, we keep everything. So whatever price point you're coming in at for us, that cigar that we make could be more money if we sold it to somebody else as a brand, or we could just sell it for more if we wanted to. But we value people. When you got to take your hard-earned money out of your pocket and buy the cigar, if we can make it a value, it's more likely you'll do that and do it again.
Can you tell the listeners about one of our favorite sticks that we probably all smoked before?
Lunatic. So
Come on, tell me about
so I
that.
should have brought it out here. So Lunatic is named because there are some sizes, not all the sizes, but some of the sizes.
Oh,
770,
huge, yeah, man.
10 by 100. You have a 10 by 100. It's in there.
I didn't know that. What?
10 by 100. And they're our most popular cigars, to be honest with you, because it's a great value. And big ring gauge cigars got a bad name because when they first came out, I think these Cuban guys in the factories were like, these crazy Americans, they don't know what that and they just packed them with more tobacco. But if we blend to the size, and so, I'm not a big ring gauge guy myself, but I'll tell you that some of our blends, the big ring gauge, are more flavorful than the smaller sizes because it's blended to the size. And so that's really important. And again, great value. You're talking about an 8x80 for like $10. I mean, it's a great value and a great cigar. Personally, I'm not a big range gauge guy, but we're here to listen. We're not here to tell people.
Yeah, man. Come on, listen to us, man. We love that lunatic.
You have guys that will smoke 2-3 cigars a day.
Sure.
Yeah.
And if you're spending $15-$20 on a cigar, that can be a very expensive package.
It's a way to get in trouble at home too. So
Yeah. So price,
you can tell your better half. I only had one today.
Right.
No, it was an 8x80, but it was only one.
For the gauge is concerned.
we don't have coming out. Do you have anything new coming out this year or next year that we can look forward
Yeah, so
to?
we have a blend that's just launching right now. It's going to come out in the night. You'll see it in the next coming weeks. It's called Arsenio. Arsenio Ramos was our head blender. He passed away in 2018, and it was a blend that he used to smoke. He was a Cuban guy that he ran Cuba Tobac's operations in Pinar del Rio, Cuba, for almost 50 years.
Wow.
And so he was in his 60s in the late 90s when we met him. We brought him into Aganorsa. Because in Cuba, if you're not a party member, you can't kind of retire you out at a certain age. And he couldn't be a party member because when you try to join the Communist Party, there's a questionnaire. There's a million questions on it. But one of the questions is, do you believe in God?
Right.
And the correct answer is no in a communist country. But he had faith, and he didn't want to lie and say he didn't believe in God. And so they said, okay, yeah, come back next year. He couldn't be a member. So he was he was in Cuba, not doing too much. We brought him over to Nicaragua, and for the last 20 years of his life, he developed that signature flavor that Aganorsa is for. So that blend will be in the market. It's called Aganorsa Leaf Arsenio.
That's
Good.
awesome. That's a great story too.
Well, we think that you guys have a great brand here.
Yeah.
You definitely can expect Black Cigar Festival to be a supporter of it.
Thank you.
Guys,
Go out and get your Aganorsa cigar. Now, can you break down
what the meaning of Aganorsa is?
So Aganorsa is an acronym, and if you think Aganorsa is hard to say, remember, you can always just go by the flex, by the arm. But it stands for Agrícola Ganadera Norteña S.A. Now that sounds very...
Don't expect us to say that.
All that means basically is Nicaraguan Farming and Ranching Company. That's all it means.
Okay.
But because it's also, not only is there tobacco, there's cattle, there's pigs, there's rice farms. It's a whole agricultural company.
Wow.
Tobacco is one part. It's a big part, but it's only one part.
Wow.
And so,
Okay.
so Aganorsa is the acronym for all that which I just said.
Good, man. Thank you for coming on. Anytime you're here, we would love to bring you back on.
It was my pleasure, gentlemen. You guys got to come to Miami someday. You know?
Hey, yeah, we'll look you up as soon as we're there.
Yeah. Have a Cuban coffee. I'll have a show there.
There you go. Let's do it.
Do it.
Let's do it. Thank you,
guys. Thank you guys so much.
Terrence.
Thank you.
My pleasure, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
We're going to talk right here.
All right, we're gonna go. Are we gonna talk amongst ourselves for a second?
Yeah, let's break this thing down. You know, we got another guest getting ready to come. Hey,
we got two ways.
Hey, come on in. Yeah, that's all good. He gave me no time at all.
I'll come back.
No, you're good. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in.
Yeah. Put
Come on
that
in.
on. There we go. And then that's your mic. So that's for Instagram. And that's for that. Yeah. Okay.
Get the stick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
Please
Yes,
do.
yes, sir.
And your cutter
That's your mic
and your lighter.
for the podcast.
Yeah.
I come prepared, bro.
So listen, guys. Before we go any further, you know, we always like to sit back and kind of talk about, you know, some things that are concerning in our culture, in our neighborhoods, in our community, you know. And what we want to do is we want to always build in a segment where Black Cigar Festival is coming to you and providing you with what we believe we're called to do in our communities. Of course, you know, like everyone today is looking for that one thing, that one purpose in their life that they're called to do, whether they know what that purpose is or it's not. And we all are searching to be some type of entrepreneur and business owner. And so we wanted to kind of talk about some of those things, some of those practical things you can do to actually achieve some of those goals that you're trying to achieve and becoming a business owner. Now, instead of us personally trying to talk about it, we thought we'd bring up somebody that's been crawling, that's been grinding from the brooks all the way to the boardroom. My man Terrence here, better known as T. Gray. Come on. We think we'll let Terrence kind of bring this home a little bit, and I think he got a little bit to say. Let's see.
Hey, man, tell us about who you are and what you do, Terrence.
Yeah, thank you, Howard, and thank you, Eros, and thank you, Q, for having me on. It's awesome to be here. So a little bit about me. I grew up in the projects, the South Bronx, New York City. I'm sure everybody's heard of that place, and it's exactly what you said. It's a definitely tough environment to grow up in. But I was always academically excellent, so I did really well. But even though I had some scholarships lined up to go to Ivy League schools or military academies, I was not able to go to school. Because as often happens in our community, our families break up. So my dad left when I was 17. I'm the oldest of four. Like I said, we were living in the projects. My mom was working per diem 2 days a week as a registered nurse at the time. Now she had to make the transition to full-time work. My dad left us with nothing but a lot of debt. So I can tell you right now, I can remember plenty of times when there was nothing there. We had grits, eggs, and cheese. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh,
it wasn't
man.
enough for mom. I remember times when the congregation showed up literally just in time with groceries because we had nothing left.
Always on time.
I remember Miss Washington, who collected, who would turn in bottles and cans, collect all the recycling money,
Yeah.
and to us it would have bus fare so we could even get to church. So that's where I grew up. But despite all that, I've been able to be very successful. I had a mom who really just stayed on top of me. She made sure that, number one, she made sure I was academically excellent. She also made sure that I could speak well. So most people can't tell when they meet me that I'm from New York. Definitely not from the Bronx, right? And that's because she wouldn't allow it. She said, when you grow up, you're going to speak before thousands, and they're going to hear your message, and they're not going to be confused by how you speak, hear what you're saying. So here's what I did instead. I went to college. I went to secretarial school.
Oh yeah.
I went to a school called the Bronx High School of Science.
Okay.
So I did math, science, but I couldn't get a job doing any of those things. So I figured, let me go learn a skill that when I ultimately go to school, I can translate into something. So I figured I'd go learn to type. And I got it. I'm super competitive. Bro, I got it. All these girls, they can already type. Because I grew up in the era where the girls had home ec and they learned how to type. The boys had shot.
Yep, you had
so all these girls can type already. And I'm like, I'm not gonna, y'all not gonna leave me behind at the bottom of the class and never the bottom of nothing. So I would literally go home and I would put up a magazine and add the typewriter. For those of you who are too young, we used to have typewriters.
You used to have typewriters.
And I would type magazine articles, and I came back and I smoked those girls. Sorry, ladies. So I got my first job as an executive secretary.
Wow, executive secretary
to the senior vice president and media director of one of the top ad agencies in the world, which happened to be based out of New York. And the job lasted 3 months. Errol, you're not gonna believe this.
3 months.
3 months. My boss called me in his office. He said, Terrence, which is what they used to call me at that time. I wasn't team grade until I moved to Houston.
Come on.
But he said, Terrence, it's not working out.
What?
He said, you are way too sharp, way too talented for us to keep you in this administrative role. We got 2 choices for you. Number 1, we'll get behind you, help you go to whatever school you want to go to. But if that's not an option, because you're still helping your mom with your brother and your sisters, you can come here early every day, and we will teach you marketing, media, and advertising on this job. So I started coming to work 45 minutes early every day, and a different one of the executives would teach me advertising. Stayed at that job 5 years, got promoted 4 times, left there to go sell advertising for Newsweek magazine, became one of their top salespeople. Now here's the deal, Newsweek magazine doesn't hire junior reps.
Okay.
And so one of my reps, when I was buying advertising at that agency, that was one of the jobs I got promoted to, Kathy Gorf, I'll never forget her, she's like, you need to be on the sell side, right? And I would see the reps, they'd come in, fur coats, they got money, playing golf all the time. I'm like, yo, I need to be doing that. So she introduced me to her manager, and he was like, man, I like you, but we don't hire junior reps. I was not daunted. I started interviewing for advertising jobs. He called me up one day and said, hey, I convinced the company to do an experiment. I'm going to hire 2 junior reps for the price of 1 senior.
Wow.
They had 60 candidates. We went through 13 interviews. The 13th interview was a psychological evaluation.
13.
They hired me and they hired a guy by the name of Ari. So excited, right?
Okay.
First day, we're celebrating. The manager calls us in the office. He says, hey, listen, I got good news and bad news. Good news is you guys are both here. Bad news is 6 months from now, only one of you is here. And what they did is they took, to develop our sales list, our territory, they went to all the senior reps and said, what don't you want? Give us your scraps. So they split the scraps down the middle, gave it to us.
Hate that.
Bro, I was just happy to be there, man. So you know what I did?
You hustle.
I hustled. I triple that shit. Can I say that on this?
Yeah.
I triple that shit.
Come on.
So it was bye-bye Ari, right? And then they started giving me the good stuff. Like back in the day, I ended up with MCI, AT&T, Smith Klein, Beecham.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
When I first got that job, I was making $28,000 at the ad agency. And my first year, I made $130,000. I'm like 20-something years old.
Come on, Terry.
I'm hearing what you're saying.
You got this?
I'm hearing what you're dropping, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm hearing exactly what you're dropping. But I need you to think about that group of young men and women entrepreneurs right now. And with one word, what are you telling them?
Stand out, Okay? So
There you go.
let me tell you how I got promoted. Let me tell you how I got promoted. So there were 5 of us secretaries back there. There were 5 of us, right? And I'm the only guy. There's 5 of us. And we're in the media department. We don't get a lot of visitors, so there was no dress code.
Okay.
Those ladies all showed up in jeans and sweatshirts every day. I wore my one suit. I had a navy blue suit. I wore that suit every day. Every time we got paid, I bought 2 white shirts. I bought a white shirt and 2 ties.
Okay.
I would swap out those ties. And nobody knew I had one suit. And on Fridays, I would run out of there so I could put that suit in the cleaners and get it out on Saturday. Because Sunday the cleaners is closed. So I could wear it on Monday. And my boys would tease me. They were like, boy, you take up that suit, it just stands up in the closet by itself. You wear it every day. And I was wearing the crotch out. They fixed the crotch. And they patched the patch. They patched the patch on top of the patch. Right? But here's the deal. And here's the principle for the young people. If you're trying to get promoted, remember that when they're going to talk about you as a promotion candidate, you will not be in the room. So make sure that it is not hard for them to see you in the next job. So even though I could have showed up in jeans and a sweatshirt, I wanted them to see me in the next job. But I got another word. Curiosity. You gotta be curious. So many people, Howard, they just don't care.
Yeah.
They're apathetic, and apathy will destroy you. Right? So what I did is I did my work fast, and then I would go in and I would ask questions.
Okay.
Tell me about why you put this proposal together this way.
Yeah.
Why is this one different than the other client?
Yeah.
So they could see that I was interested because I was curious. And they could see me in that next job, and that's how I got promoted.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
Good.
Awesome. So, in what you're saying, we wanted to seek out some of our young talent, like some people that were out here trying to mimic what you did. And so we have one young lady we want to bring on that you had an opportunity to talk to, and
Miss Tamarella.
Miss Tamarella.
So, if you want to be successful, there's a lot of things you need to do. But one of them is you're going to need to overcome adversity. And adversity is going to come in many different sizes, shapes, and formats. And sometimes adversity is going to come in the form of different events. So I want to introduce you to Tamarella of Tease Cakes. And Tease Cakes is her dream. And she had to overcome adversity in order to do it. And I can't wait for you to hear what she had to overcome. Right? So for me, I had to overcome my dad did. Right? And now I'm going to miss out on something that I had been working toward, which was in college and university education. Wait till you hear what she had to overcome. Let's bring up Tamarella.
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 Come on and join the podcast. Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
All right.
Let me sit this here.
So Tamarella, you got a story to tell.
Yes, I do.
I want you to introduce yourself to everybody, let them know who you are, and then we're going to ask you about what you had to do to become successful.
So I am T of T's Tea Cakes, and I offer a variety of things. Tea cakes is one. However, I do cakes, cookies, and pies.
Okay.
But tea cakes is something that is very nostalgic to our culture. Being that we've been in this country for over 40 years, it's a very nostalgic recipe, very minimal ingredients, but it offers a very robust taste, and it brings us back to our culture.
Right.
It does.
Well, we appreciate that. And you sound very, very passionate about
I
it.
am.
When I met you a little while ago, that passion just jumps through, right? But it wasn't an easy road. There was something that happened in your life that almost took you out of the tea cakes game. What was it? And divorce is difficult. I've got one of those, right? So how did that impact you? How did it sideline you for a little while? And how'd you get over it?
So it stopped me from being able to go forward to it kind of stagnated me, right? However, not just from a Southern standpoint, but from a Black culture standpoint, to allow the people to understand like where we came from. I brought my cookies to African restaurants and they're like, oh wow, this is something that we remember from our country. And it's like, actually I love it because it just reminds me of who we are as a people. It's not just something that's outside of us, but it's actually innate within us, right?
So Terrell, I gotta ask you a question. I remember when I got divorced, right, and thank God I'm remarried and I got it right the second time.
Okay,
right?
Second time.
Right? But when I got divorced, I bottomed out emotionally. I was depressed for a year and a half. It cost me, I had every business I was involved in failed during that time simply because I was just crushed and I didn't show up. I imagine you had to go through some pain too. Here's the question for you. How did you get out of it? That's what people need to know because people are dealing with all sorts of stuff. How'd you get out of it?
Right now, I'm getting out of it. I have a good guy on my side. I love to give people what they like. And honestly, I've had a lot of people that don't even like sweets. But when they taste these tea cakes, they're like, hey, hey, give me a little bit of that.
Right, we get on tea cakes.
Listen, I do apologize.
So we have
I did not come
Angel Rosa
here.
cigars. I got an Angel Rosa coffee mug, but I don't have no tea cakes.
Where can we get them at?
Tea cakes. Tea cakes. 281-746-1380.
Okay, we have to write that down, make sure we get that on.
I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
And I'm also on TikTok.
What's the Instagram?
However, the Instagram is TS underscore tea cakes.
TS_tea cakes.
And it's also on TikTok at the same TS underscore tea cakes. And I mean, listen, I ain't gonna break on myself, but I ain't gonna lie to you. They good.
Right.
They are.
Now I gotta ask you this though. I wonder, people need to hear this. At some point in time, you had a conversation with yourself
I did.
that got you out of the doldrums and back in the game. What was that conversation? What did you say to
Conversation was, girl, now listen, God engaged you. You need to bring it forward. And that's what I'm trying to do at this time. It's been hard. I ain't gonna lie about it. It's been hard because I am a perfectionist and I like to give the people what they want. I've been asked for multiple types of flavor. However, I do give the nostalgic flavor. I do have other recipes that are to come, but I will tell you this, you're gonna like them. And if you don't, I'll buy them back.
Oh, okay,
How about that?
okay,
I'll buy
okay.
them back.
Okay.
If you don't like them, I'll buy them back.
That's what I'm talking about. Stand behind your product.
Stand behind your product.
And Amanita.
There you go.
Now, what's something that you can tell other entrepreneurs, other young female ladies that are wanting to get out and start their business? What's something that you've learned that you can express?
Do it. Just do it. Move
Stop it.
forward. Just do it.
That's big. Because taking the action can sometimes be the hardest thing, right? Because we'll have that thought, but without action with it, it will never come into fruition.
Absolutely. It's the doing.
Yeah.
And like for me, it's the doing. I mean, people love my tea cakes, but it's the doing.
Put one foot in front of the other.
One foot in front of the other.
But
Let's go forward. Go ahead.
But I'm sure, aside from tea cakes, right, that you have other talents.
I do.
But why did you go the tea cake route?
Because it's very nostalgic. It's a part of our culture, and I have learned in this last year and a half, a lot of us actually do not even know what a tea cake is. I met many people from Atlanta. I met many people from the northern coast that they don't even understand what a tea cake is. And the tea cake is something that is very nostalgic to our culture. It comes from our beginning here in this nation. Before we actually began, right? Because we were already here before they said we were here. but that's a side of the point.
it's not.
Absolutely, but it's very nostalgic. It's very minimal ingredients, but it just brings us back. Like I said, it is a miniature.
Yeah.
And like so, when you taste it, it's just like, wait a minute now. I taste this from somewhere. Like I said, I met many of our Nigerian and Ghanaian brethren and sisterin that like, wait a minute now. I didn't have this before.
Wow.
Yeah, you did.
Right. They didn't know what they had though.
They didn't know what they had. They was eating.
They didn't know what they were eating.
I said TCK. What we talking about?
Well, so next podcast we're gonna have a box up here of some cigars.
We're gonna have some TK and some cigars and a little whiskey. Cause you know I like a little whiskey with my TK. I mean, like we could have a little coffee with it. But I'm gonna need a little.
Now there is a rum tea cake, right? Or people make,
can make a rum tea cake.
Okay.
I can make a rum tea cake, a peach cobbler tea cake, a lemon tea cake. What we talking about? So there's something that I don't want to say.
Come on now.
Your face out right now, bro.
Hey, I love tea cake.
Listen, so I don't want to say, but it's called like a in a blanket. I can make that too.
Good. Okay.
It's a part of the tea cake.
I mean, what is a tea cake? Just to kind of break it down on a simple, you know.
For someone never had one.
Yeah.
Someone that has never had one. So it's very, like I said, it's very simplistic. However, the ratio of ingredients.
That's it. It's the ratio.
It's the ratio.
Because can't everybody get it right?
Everybody can get it right. So it's very simple. So it's just flour, it's butter, but like my grandma would say, it's oleo. But
Come on.
she would say oleo, and oleo is a very Louisiana Creole term of saying butter, right?
Okay.
So, but however, it's the ratio of ingredients, right? So it's not too much sugar, it's not too much butter, and it's not too much flour. But when you eat it, it brings you all the way back.
All the way back.
Come
I
on.
love that.
It makes you think of grandma. It makes you think of great-great-grandma. Go ahead.
So what's the history, right? So this is ministry. It's not just a cake. Where does this cake come from?
So it comes from slavery. So, however, when our people came over and they needed to create an ingredient, like a snack, like we would, honey buns for our kids, which I don't do, however. But it's something sweet, it's something very nostalgic. It brings us back to our culture, right? And it connects us to who we are, right?
Okay.
And it just brings us back to
I love that.
place of nostalgia, right? It allows us to know who we are in our culture.
As a kid, so we kind of eat like around the holidays, right?
We would.
Right. And so, like, I traditionally get some at the end of the year between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Right.
Every year, like clockwork,
Right.
right? But you're right. It brings us back to that childhood.
Absolutely.
You know, life before the big city and big lights.
Right.
It brings you back home.
Right, it does. And I love it. Now listen, I ain't gonna say I'm the best, but I'm the best.
So, and the fact that you would say you are the best, you are the best as far as that's concerned.
Absolutely.
And we have a lot of entrepreneurs that are out here today that are seeking and striving to be the best at what it is that they're calling themselves to do and what they feel like their purpose on this earth is, has called them to do. And so we have another young man also we want to bring on to talk to him a little bit about his apparel and what he's doing and kind of it's the generation, it's those just coming behind us that we want to continue to encourage and build up and make sure that they know that, hey, just like if he buy a tea cake, he's supporting you, and if we support him, we're all supporting each other as a whole. So thank you so much for us on our show tonight, and we look forward to having you back.
Yeah, it's called connectivity. Let's connect. Let's build.
And where can they find you at again? Samarilla? And what's that phone number? Or what's that phone number?
281-746-1780.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you, Tamarilla. Appreciate that. That was great. Awesome. Eric, how you doing, bud? How you doing? Come on in.
Just chill, man. What's up, Eric?
What's happening, Eric? How's it going, bro?
But first of all, this young man is like one of my sons, man. I'm serious. I think I gave you a first half good, man. Goes to it.
Wow.
Yeah. So Eric, tell us a little bit about, what you got going.
Cigar. Is it in the?
Push hard for it and never give up in the process. People gonna criticize your life and keep going, moving forward. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to touch the youth, trying to touch everybody out there in the world to keep them inspired for their goals and their dreams.
What made you come up with that name? Laugh now, cry never.
Laugh now, cry never. It's a twist to laugh now, cry later. So I currently make the late great Nipsey Hussle, who was pushing the marathon. He was like 24 at the time, and I was like 21. And so I put a twist, and I realized that both of our monikers meant similar to the same thing. So I thought it was cool. I'm a hip hop artist. That's how I got the name for it. One of my first projects, and I took that name and started a clothing brand.
Fantastic. So how's it doing?
It's going great. Furthest shipment I had is in Belgium, across the seas. I probably stole a good 50 to 75% of the United States already.
That's awesome. Let me ask you a question. So Eric, did you have to overcome any challenges in order to start your clothing line?
Yes, sir, I did. Basically doubters and non-believers, similar to what my brand represents. Being young and black as well, trying to find ways to reach everybody else in crowds. But faced a lot of challenges. Social media, the algorithms and everything like that, finding ways to reach different people in the market.
I can ask you.
Yes, please do.
Did you have to overcome any doubts or anxieties or reservations of your own?
That's true. Because sometimes, you come up with these creative plans. Sometimes you don't know if they're going to work. So everybody have different goals and different dreams and everything that they come up with. But only time will tell till you go and push and persevere for it. It's true.
So what was it about you that made you go and do it anyway?
I guess it was the drive that I had to give the creator first, God, the one. And I guess coming from a family that I come from, I saw them go out and that they wanted to eat as a background. I think that helped a lot.
That's phenomenal.
So how did you get funded to get started? Like, what was your leapfrog into the business?
My leapfrog, just hard work. I go out and take my own job and save up. I went to the game. I went to my average person arrogant. Look at us.
So you know what? I'm so glad you asked that question because most people don't understand what a job is for. Eric understood, right? So one of the principles that you need to remember is that all the money that you make is not your money. All the money you make is not your money. When you have a job, if you have aspirations to have your own business, you have to put some of that to the side. So even when you start your business, you can't spend all the money. You got to put money back into that business.
Come on now.
To be successful. So have you been able to totally self-fund this, or you have to get help from anybody?
Totally self-funded on my own.
So, did you know anything about this business at all before you got into it?
Just doing research. That's what the internet is for and different things in that nature. Because back then, in different eras, we didn't have the luxury of this, So I took all the knowledge and looked at different entrepreneurs, read different books, and tried to put a twist on it to my own.
Okay. So here's my thing now.
Sure.
All right. Now this is the moment where I'm going to ask you to be a little bit more open with the people.
Okay.
Now, as business owners, as a business owner speaking to another business owner,
Yes, sir.
you've had some moments where you've looked at this and said, what did I get myself into? And how did you deal with that emotional portion at that particular time? And how did it, because you're still in it now,
Right.
so that means you came out of it, how did it strengthen you afterwards?
it strengthened me in several ways. It built my faith to keep going and continue to do it. Just understanding people that go through the failures and the hardships of it. And I feel like that's what my brand represents. I gotta find the motivation to keep continuing. But it definitely builds your character in the long run, you know. Definitely.
Yeah. So how much support that you have, like outside of yourself, family, friends, business owners, like what kind of support that were you able to bring in to help fund your business, or not so much funded monetarily, but emotionally?
I have the support, so you know I have to give praise to my mom, my dad, my family.
Okay.
So the support system was definitely there. And me being a musician, already having a solid fan base that I was working on for years to come, helped the fans to leverage and get into that market.
Now, you just brought up a major point. I want to speak to all the parents out there. Because one of the biggest things that people have to overcome, young people especially, is lack of support or lack of belief in their parents. Right? Pushing your child, just go get a regular job, or go get a traditional job, go get a job at the post office. Y'all know which generation that is. But it's so important that when you have young people in your life like Eric who have a dream, we gotta get behind them. We gotta encourage them, speak positivity into their life like his parents did.
Yes. That's good. Totally agree. Because it's easy for people to get behind Gucci and Louis Vuitton, but how do you get that target audience to follow it?
That target audience, I think, that purpose, I think that's what relates to everyone. You know, if you can show them all aspects, like Marshall said, the hardships. Everybody deal with different emotions. Everybody deal with ups and downs and areas. You know, so they can see that. Now, I just can see that. I feel like
well, like having your business, do you reach out to other people in your position a few years ago? How do you bring them in?
How do I bring them in? I try to motivate them as well. I reach back to do other things, try to put other people in position because
there you go.
I think we need to get away from the Willie Lynch syndrome, you know, and the crab in the bucket mentality. I think we all need to uplift each other up because we all benefit each other in the long run. Everybody, you know.
What kind of advice can you give to another entrepreneur or maybe even an artist on what they should be doing or what kind of pitfalls could they expect when going into a clothing apparel business?
I suggest that you know, put God first.
Come on now.
Yeah, keep pushing. Focus more on information. So that's why they have surveys. That's why they have things to reach out to find out how they can redirect you to where you're trying to go. Because when I was taught, like spending your money to promote and do other things that you're trying to do, it's not a waste. You're paying money for information. So the information might be giving you the direction to get
Very smart. Very smart. I love that.
Eric, man, I want to say that me personally, I'm so proud of you, man. I mean,
I'm inspired,
again,
man.
like I watch you grow up, man, from real young guy, man, and you know, crying in the barber chair, you know.
You did that.
You know, to a young man, to a young man that's really doing his thing, man. And I love your passion behind what you're doing. I would recommend everybody get one of Eric's shirts. You know, I got a couple of them. You know, different colors. They come in different colors and you know and stuff like that. So we love what you're doing, man. We're here to support you. You got Black Cigar Fest behind you, supporting you 100%. And
now, where can they find you at?
They can find me on Instagram, True Styles 90, TruStylez90. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on
Under True Style 90.
You can type in True Styles and you can type my name, Eric Ford.
Okay. All right.
So on there I have different celebs and everybody that's supporting me. So yeah, that should pop up in there soon.
Great.
And I'm proud of you too, Eric. You give me something to look up to make sure that I can continue to keep going. But I can
You need that generational leap, right?
Yeah.
You looked up to him, but you know what? You got to be that same motivation for the next generation. There you go.
Right. There you go. Man, we thank you. You got
I want to say anything from Black Cigar Festival to those that have been listening to our podcast.
First of all, we thank y'all for joining us, and we hope that you support our vendors and also our gigs. They need, without your support, they're not going to grow. We need to help them grow.
Yeah. I would like to thank Cigars International, our sponsor for this podcast. And we also have a event coming up August 24th, Ladies Night. We're going to be here every fourth Saturday, starting August 24th. And I would say look out for our next podcast in a couple weeks. We're going to have, and we're going to bring back, we may bring back Mr. T. Gray for some more good information that he's been giving us.
I mean, that would be awesome, Howard. I appreciate that. You know, part of, like Eric said, I'm about paying it forward. I told Quentin, it's kind of sad because I've started writing my book.
Okay.
Right, so maybe we're about 90 to 120 days out. But if anybody just wants to kind of keep track, you can follow me on Instagram at tgraywins, TGRAYWINS. It's an affirmation.
Ashe, I like that. That's good.
All right. Well, thank you guys again for checking us out. Black Cigar Festival coming at you one more time. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. All of our guests that were here tonight, we can't say how much we thank you guys for coming and sharing your information, sharing your passion, sharing your love, not only with us, but with our family. And so we can't wait to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Bless.
Appreciate you.
One more time for the camera.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it.